right, let's talk about the first quarter of 2012. Hopefully you've already read or listened to the overview, but I realized when I recorded that I forgot to mention that the Pluto square Uranus is more than about the purging of debt. It's also about fundamental revolution of all corporations, government, anything that you'd call the establishment is being challenged right now by the youth. And it will continue on this year and be much more severe in the summer. So you can consider this a quiet time, but by May things will change dramatically. So what I do see is the portent for war in the U.S. of having to take military action. Again, it is strong in the chart of the U.S. and of President Obama. So I think he's going to be challenged or called to take some sort of military action. So far he's been quite reserved, but a decisive leader. I mean, he did take out Osama bin Laden, and I think he has that potential to do it again, but he does seem to be discreet and cautious in his actions. So I have a feeling it will be brewing, but not until we have the moon wobble at the end of February would I think that the U.S. would actually take some sort of definitive action. But in the news it should be brewing. And also I think that Bernanke's chart is also activated during this time, and that is in the month of January and the first couple of weeks in February. But again, that is just the beginning of what is ahead for us this year. And we're only talking about this March, so I mean this first quarter. February 28th is the center of the moon wobble, and that moon wobble is, you can think of as a weak eclipse, and the eclipses are the most important aspects and have the longest history in the history of astrology. It was studied all the way back to 4,000 years ago, probably 5,000 years ago if you count the Chinese. I think there's records all the way back to 2000 BC. So we're about to have one of those events, and this one is going to be a little bit more powerful than usual because we have Mars involved with it, and Mars is the planet of business and also of military action, and it also represents the sex drive or the protection of the family, and that family unit could be a country if you think of your family big enough, or you could think of as family violence. So you might see more of that in the news during February the 28th because people that are volatile tend to act under stress aspects like that. But we're likely to see the escalation of events. Now we know that Syria has been in the news at least half or more of last year. I thought maybe Assad would have been taken out by now. He hasn't, whereas Gaddafi was killed in October. So Syria is now under Arabic sanctions, but we're likely to see a lot more action there and heating up of Syria, but I don't think we're going to really see long-term results with him until May would be my guess. So this is enough for the preview. Let's go on and look at the chart, and I'll talk over it at this time. So this is our first quarter chart, and the red vertical line is the moon wobble we talked about on February the 28th. Now there are several days on either side of that, 3 on each side at least for that event, but let's start over on to the far left. And you'll see that we have in mid-January a Sun conjunct Saturn. Usually with that you'll get some sort of legal notice or a older person that dies, or you will find that there's some sort of new law that's put in place, but that it's limiting to individuals. And then if you'll notice, we have the moon wobble in February, but Pay particular notice that on the far right-hand side, I mentioned that Mars is square the nodes. Now, follow the Mars line all the way to the left. When it's down in the lower corner in January and February, it is aspecting the chart of the United States and of Barack Obama. That is why I was speculating that there would be challenges to the U.S. or Obama to take military action. However, I don't think that that would likely to happen until sometime after the events that happened on the moon wobble of February the 28th, and then you'll see on the lower right hand side that Mars is square the nodes. That definitely guarantees that there's going to be some unexpected events that are going to build up and create additional tension to where there'll be a greater demand to take action. And notice up at the very top that you have Sun, Uranus, Pluto. The Sun is transiting first Uranus and then Pluto, and that is in the last third of March, at the same time that we have the Mars square nodes. So that should be an unexpected event, a catalyst that will add a little bit more fuel to the fire during that time. You will have some volatility in the markets. There's likely to be a down day someplace around the February the 28th. But overall, the market's going to be climbing and trying to recover during this time because even though there's threatening noises, no action is going to be imminent. And I think that the markets will rise during this time of January and February. But at the end of February, there will be some more action. And of course, things will turn drastically wrong by the end, by March. So if you want to play the market, fine, but realize that this is a rocky year and you need to be in a very heavily defensive position at this point. So as individuals, the biggest thing is not to be overreactive yourself during the moon wobble, and then watch your own level of anger and intensity, and how overreactive you might be when that Mars is squaring the nodes, and that is the bulk of March. So wishing you all the best for this coming year. Don't expect to get another update until someplace in mid-March, where I will do an update for the second quarter, unless of course there's some sort of very major news event, and I think it's worth making an additional video regarding the details of that. The very best to you. This is Naomi Bennett signing out.